benefit would take me to Dubai for holiday? Which benefit would handouts that you're talking about? Which handout would take my family, me with 4 children, to Dubai? How? Hi guys, it's your girl lilymutamztv, also known as Z, girl from Zambia. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you will be notified that Z posts a video. Z has posted a video. In this video, I will be talking about what has been going on here in the UK. I know I don't really talk about what's going on much, but this has really affected a lot of people, and I thought if I could share my views and then we could have some peace in this land. So basically, you know that I am based in the UK and I am a Zambian that was born in Zambia, and I have children that were born in the UK. Now I want to give you a background of the rules in this country. The rules are that if a child is born to a non-British father and a non-British mother, then that child is not British. And the child is automatically given the citizenship of a parent that applies for maybe leave to remain in the UK or extension, whatever, and the child gets that citizenship. So in my case, my children were classed as Zambians by nationality. I'm getting somewhere. So my children that were born in this country, in the UK, they were not classed as British citizens, but they were classed as Zambians by nationality. Even when I'm filling in forms, I had to say they are Black African. Now, in order for a child to get a British passport, there's what they call naturalization. Naturalization only occurs if the child has lived in the UK continuously for 10 years of their lives, and then they can apply for naturalization, and it's not free. And you get a certificate like this, which is granted to you as somebody who has, applied for citizenship. So in this case, it says the British Nationality Act 1981, certificate of registration as a British citizen. The Secretary of State, in exercise of powers conferred by the British Nationality Act 1981, has registered the named person below as a British citizen. Then he writes your name and who issued the document. That is when only can you be classed as a British citizen. You feeling me? Okay, so for that application alone, I went through a process of school letters, school certificates, and everything to prove that my child has been in the UK for 10 years. And then after that, I had to get the British passport, which was about £60. So my daughter is a British citizen. And because of her, we are here because she is our sponsor as a British citizen. I was not born here, so I cannot exaggerate about that. So that's the certificate you get. There's also professionals that have come here to the UK, stayed here for many years, and they also qualify for the British citizenship because they have had what you call indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which is a permanent residency, and then after 12 months you can apply for your British passports. Those are some of the people that get their British passports, right? Now, here is a gist. I came across a post where Black people were condemned by some British. And before I go any further, I want to read first so that you understand the gravity of what they've said, and then I'll make my commentary. Okay, so you know that there's so many Africans who've migrated to the UK world over. They are in this country, they are working here, and they are making themselves comfortable because obviously they've settled, and the Queen has, as you heard me read, the Queen has conferred those rights of citizenship onto them, right? But listen to this. So This is a post that I received. I'm going to share the screenshots at the end so that you can read for yourselves. A qualified nurse friend of mine sent me this, and I thought I should share with you guys, and you can just know. So the BBC had made a post on their website, obviously, and there are some people who responded to that. And the post headline is Coronavirus, Black African deaths 3 times higher than white Britons. That's according to the study. And these were the comments. A person posted it, and the person is called Simon, I believe. And this is what somebody said. Please, I am sick of the goddamn victim card. Have you been out for a walk lately? They are walking around. They are walking around in large groups. They have no idea that what 2 meters is. This person is talking about black people. Before you condemn China, listen to this. Because when I go into the shop, they can't even write their own English well, by the way. They always, and I mean always, come and stand next to me. If they do not understand the 2-meter rule, there is no way, even the no as well, is the knowing, it's the wrong spelling as well. No way they are washing their hands. Can you imagine that? This is basic shit. And they do not care, or they are as thick as FUCK. And then another person, Ben Williams, writes, wash your hands, you dirty pig, using a black person as an image. That's an image there of a black person. This is what I'm reading. I'm using my son's phone to read this. Yeah? And then a person called Helen Samuel said, they are still going to the mosques and hanging out together. Now, this is now going to the Muslims now. Then Daniel Brown said, let them push the COVID is a racist agenda, adding to their credibility as factual news service. Wonder if, okay, those are just, screenshots. And then this other person, Scott, said, are they washing their hands enough at all? Stanley Sherlock said, great news. Thank you, BBC, for cheering me up. Yeah. So this person is happy that black people are dying. And the person called Harvey EL says, perhaps they should honor the social distancing rule. It might help. And then Heather Andrews says, they can't. I'll post these screenshots at the end. And then this person, Phil Haslam, says, just more lefty BBC recycled shit staring. Who gives a FCUK? Like, who gives a that they are dying? And then Ron Shepard said, because they don't stick to the rules, saves them right. The bunch of idiots. So black people are dying because they don't obey the rules. They don't wash their hands according to them. I'm getting somewhere. David Cadlin says, divisive, racist scumbags. And then Peter Brennan says, I don't think I've ever read, that screenshot was not taken properly, but it's there. Then Simon Vo, I think he's the owner of the post, said, Labour are worried that it will decimate their voter base. You know, Labour is former Tony Blair's party where he was. They really support migrants in this country. So Simon says Labour is worried that it will not, if black people are dying, Africans are dying, they won't have many people voting for them. This is what this person is saying. Labour are worried that it will decimate their voter base. Mind you, a lot of those who vote for them are not alive anyway. Really? Okay. So this other person saying, Dick Lawrence said, send them back or to their country of ethnic origin. Problem solved. Can you imagine? Let me pause there. Dick Lawrence, before you say that African migrants, this is the comment, that they should be sent back to where they're coming from. Who is working as frontline workers? Dick Lawrence, before you even say that these people must be returned back to their country of origin, who is working? I mean, the majority of people who are working in the NHS as the frontline workers, what type of race are they? Do you think black people just turn up from nowhere and say they're coming to the UK? Do you know how many agencies come to Africa, follow them in Africa to recruit nurses and carers because some British people are lazy? And you are there condemning when these people are even dying. Majority of people who have died in the front line are immigrants. My friend's mom passed away as a nurse, serving despite having a condition of diabetes. She was in the front line making sure that the residents or the service users of Lewisham Hospital were alive and well whilst risking her health. And you make such a derogatory statement saying people should be sent back. Are you going to work those jobs? How many hospital beds have not been attended to because they are short-staffed? Right now, the NHS is recruiting worldwide. They are looking for nurses. They are desperate. And then you make such a statement. So when you say thank you to the NHS, in the UK they've started a system of clapping for healthcare workers and nurses and doctors and NHS professionals every Thursday at 8 o'clock. So when you clap, are you clapping for the white nurses, black nurses, or are you dividing the clap? You're clapping for the NHS, right? And who make the NHS majority? Migrants. Educate yourself. Okay, Michael Scanlon said, it's easy. Let them all piss off back to Africa. Problem solved. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is their post. On their post, they were talking about Africans like this, saying that's the reason why Africans are dying. They don't wash their hands. How many patients are alive today from the coronavirus because a black person took care of them? And then you come and tell me that black people are not washing their hands? Stephen Wood said, it must be. It's only racist in Britain. It doesn't bother them much in South Africa. Really? Really? Says who? Okay. Now, this is another person. Simon Haywood said, black African Brits, no such thing. That's where I'm getting to. You see, the system here has made it possible for people to easily discriminate. Because first of all, when my child was born, she was not classed as a British citizen. No, she had to apply for naturalization after 10 years of being in the UK, and we had to pay £1,000 plus for that. There's even been a campaign going on by the children's organization somewhere that are saying that there's no way a child that is born in UK can be paying to be born here. In America, every child that is born there is automatically an American, whether the parent is a British citizen or not. But in this country, it doesn't apply. So where does discrimination start from? It starts from there. And yet they will say the system allows immigrants, the system enables immigrants to integrate. But look at that. This person is saying there is no such thing as black African Brits. So my daughter's passport says British citizen. She was born in Reading and it says nationality British citizen. So because she is black and her parents are African, does it mean she is not a British, or she cannot be called a black African British? According to Simon Haywood, there is no such thing. Here is the comment. There you go. Black African Brits, there is no such thing. And these are the same people that will condemn China for what is going on, for what they are doing to black people. And yet, some of them, they are not even better than Chinese people who are discriminating against black people because of COVID. Alan Knowles said, the reason they call themselves African Brits is that they are African when it suits them. Can you listen to this? They are African when it suits them. Now imagine my daughter who was born in the UK, who speaks English throughout, knows a bit of African languages, and will you call her an African? So this guy says they call themselves Africans when it suits them, and then but British when they want handouts. Handouts are benefits, and believe you me, there is no way an African person, I'm telling you this, if an African person is seated at home on handouts, it's because they are waiting for their documents. If an African person can work every day, they will do it because they have projects back home, because they have family they are feeding back home. An African person, majority, 99% of Africans do not sit at home waiting for benefits. This is the truth. Even me with 4 children, I work hard. I go to work all the time. Who wants to stay on benefits waiting for the council to pay your housing benefit, and you're sitting there watching TV when we have projects that we need to do, when we have orphans that we sponsor? This other person says, Liz Wilson said, maybe because there is more of them in now. This was a proper racial post where they are talking about Muslims, Africans, and there's a part where they even talked about, because if they're saying blacks, it simply means they mean every black person. Even the Caribbeans are affected as well, because the Caribbeans, some of them, they came here with their parents. Some of them were born here because their parents were here to help build the trains, do all sorts of work in the mines in the olden days in the UK. Before you condemn any black person who lives here, know their history. You're busy condemning black people, and yet the old masters were using them as slaves, and you are there condemning them as if they came here by choice. You should be ashamed of yourself. So Martin Berggren says, could it be as in France and Belgium, blacks are not good at segregation? Every time you see street protests, you cannot help noticing the vast majority are blacks. Can you imagine? Are they simply not victims of being lower of IQ? Meaning black people have lower IQ. If white people have higher IQ, why haven't they found the cure to the coronavirus like Madagascar? Who has found the cure to coronavirus now, presently? The whole world. It's an African country, Madagascar, and they are blacks, with even a Congolese doctor working with them. He is pure black, born in Congo. So who has high IQ? How many deaths have we had in this country? More than 28,000 deaths. Even the system is overwhelmed. They don't even know what to do because we're still trying to find the cure. At this present time, it's not a time to start condemning who's got low IQ or high IQ. But this is a time when we need to sit down and say, how can we be united as one to find the cure to COVID-19 and not blaming black people? No one mentions this. That's Martin. But someone has to, especially as it would save such a lot of time and effort doing expensive investigations. So when a black person dies, the investigations are expensive. I work in different places and I have seen how others go. Death is inevitable. We cannot control it when it happens. So you have no right to even say that this can be prevented. Some people even have a strong immune system, but maybe it could even be a letter that came through the post that made them get infected to COVID-19. We don't know. We've heard of an African country, is it Algeria or one of the countries, that the whole cabinet were affected to COVID-19. They had coronavirus because of documents that were delivered. A document. All of them, they were in isolation, including the president. So you can't say that it's deliberate. They don't wash their hands. They are dirty. They don't keep 2 meters apart. I mean, some of the people who don't keep 2 meters apart are family. If I'm walking with my daughter, I live with her in the house every time. I'm walking with my son. Should I keep my 2 meters apart distance when we are eating together, using the same bathroom? Excuse me. You educate yourself. It's you who has low IQ, not us black people. Okay, so Phil Haslam says, just more lefty BBC recycled, blah, blah, blah. I already read that. And then this person's, Heather Andrews, says they can't as they breed like rats. This video must go viral. Can you imagine the insult? Calling us black people, immigrants, rats, that we breed like rats. Can you imagine that? If somebody can afford it, they work as doctors. I know Nigerian friends, other people from different countries who work as medical doctors. They are on more than £100,000 salary a month, live in 6-bedroom mansions. So what do you expect if they can afford it? I will even have 6 children if I can afford it as well. You have no right to, as if they're even on benefits. When these people are working hard and paying huge taxes, how much does a medical doctor pay for taxes? People who earn a lot of money pay more than 40% taxes, which you probably are sitting or waiting when you retire, and they'll be giving you as part of your pension. Excuse me. Don't you dare call us rats, because we're not rats. We don't breed like rats. Same with all the third world fast turning hours the same. Can you imagine? So, let me repeat this. She says, as they breed like rats, basically too many one house, yeah? Too many in one, even the English is wrong. Even your own English, I can even correct you. Too many as one house. Same with all third world fast turning hours the same. So they are saying, this Heather is saying, we are turning Britain into a third world country. Are you able to do care work and look after elderly people? Are you able to nurse wounds in hospitals? Are you able to look after people who have mental health problems? Are you able to look after vulnerable people? The answer is no. That is why Britain relies on immigrants. Educate yourself. Lynette Williams says, it's not racist in Africa. South Africa has it under control, 3 million tests, and she posted a link there. Then Hugh, I'm reading this because it's important that I go through each and every one. That's the reason why I've done this video. Hugh Murphy and all of these, I will make sure I put screenshots. They need to apologize. You cannot call us rats. You cannot say we don't use our sense, we are dirty, we are not clean, we don't have our IQ. You cannot say that. These people must apologize. Wherever they are, they should post on each and every their Facebook and apologize for making such statements. Hugh Murphy said, so would you say Indian British? You see, this person, it has taken him to India. So Indians, Pakistani, you are all affected. Caribbean, you are affected. It's not just black people. Can you say Indian British, Pakistani British? Start with this. I will come back and bite you in the future. I'm not homophobic, but once the gay and lesbian movements got more rights and the vegans decided, out ace mathematician, it's all complicated. Then Freddie said, what is a British African? Can you imagine? What is a British African? Either you are born British or born African. This person was asking, I don't know whether it was an intellectual question asking, so let me answer you. You are either born in Africa. I have a friend of mine, Nola Vogt, who was born in Zambia. She is Zambian, but she is British. Her passport says she was born in Chingola in Zambia, but she is British. So would you say she is African British? Let's not be daft about these things. All these things are unnecessary. We need to unite as one during this time of the pandemic and not condemning Pakistani people and not condemning Muslims, not condemning Africans or Caribbean people or Indian people. It's not necessary. This just shows the level of ignorance in people. This person says, is possible, is it possible for black Africans, is it possible for black African breeds to identify as whites, thereby decreasing the virus death rate? Is it possible for black African breeds to identify as whites? So if the black African breeds can identify as whites, this will decrease the death rate. Look at such a humiliating post in Britain. Then this other person, Alan Haynes, said, looking at the numbers, the highest percentage is in men. There is a high prevalence of diabetes in Afro-Caribbean males. This is what the person is saying, that Afro-Caribbean males have diabetes. But from my knowledge, what I know is as long as you reduce your weight, you can avoid diabetes. Everybody is prone to diabetes. It's not about African people. African Caribbeans are prone to diabetes. And then this person says they are also prone to prostate cancer. Can you imagine? Black Caribbeans are prone to prostate cancer. Prostate cancer. Prostate cancer. Meanwhile, so many white British people die of prostate cancer. Where is this coming from? Who teaches these people these things? Then this Alan says, I managed team of engineers in London and Southeast for many years. So because this person managed a team of engineers in Southeast for many years, the person noticed that they die of prostate cancer. Anyway, so Kevin says, plus obesity seems to be a factor in how it affects you, a lot of fat African women. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? There's so many, that lots of African women are fat. Am I fat? We Africans have big bones, and thank God these days you can check your weight. You can drink green tea. Like myself, I drink my own tea brand. I sell my own tea brand. This one, Nachi Talks. I sell this, and it's helped me to tone down. As you can see, am I fat? It just helps me to not to crave for so much food as well. And the food here is fatty anyway. Lots of GMOs, not really organic. Okay, so this comment from Malcolm Goodjar. He says the way BBC keeps throwing this shit in our faces only causes people to resent the blacks even more. I am so fed up with the continued racial shit. I cannot stand them. I feel anger towards blacks fed up with it all. FCUK, let them die. I don't know who it means they should die. And then Donna says, yeah, right. What the F you want us to do? You know, after the post, what the F do you want us to do? No solution. So shut up. Stop winning. These are some British people and how they think and how they racially profile black people, Caribbean people, and Indians plus Pakistanis. You know, I've never said this on my channel, but today I will say this. My neighbor has been very racist towards me. In fact, my neighbor never even knew that I work because they could see me working with the kids from school. They never knew that I work weekends, I work nights because I get help from friends that can help me during those times. They never knew. And until one day, my daughter was playing outside, making noise around 6 o'clock. And the woman came out to say, can your daughter shut up? My husband is resting, he's going to work tomorrow. Unlike you, my husband works. I laughed. You see, when we are staying in these confinements in the UK, most people are not social. My only white friend is Nolavo that was born in Zambia. And she's 62. She's my close friend. Now, this woman will visit me. She'll support my products. And that woman has no idea I even make money on my YouTube channel. This is income. She has no idea that I even sell my own makeup products from Beautiful You Cosmetics. She has no idea that I own my own business. But just because she sees me walking around and discriminates against me as a black person and thinks I am sitting down waiting for the government to feed me, but no, I work my ass off. I sell my own products, my own perfume, designer smells that I make in this country. Every week, I am making money. Every Every week, I'm advertising my products on Facebook, on YouTube, because I don't want to rely on no government. I am selling my own perfumes that I make in this country, design my own logo. But my neighbor will sit down there and criticize me and say, get out, you just sit down and eat benefits. They have no idea I sell my own products online and I'm making money. This is how we are discriminated. This is how people assume every black person or every immigrant came to their country to sit down and eat handouts. Despite me being a single mother, I pay my own rent, I pay my own bills. This is a beard oil I have made for men, which I created. I thought I could also include men. And you sit down there and say we eat benefits. These are part of my products that I sell. Concealers, makeup, you name it. Beautiful You by lilymutamztv. Whilst people sit down and criticize us and think all we do is we are seated waiting for benefits, I was busy looking for somebody that can create this for me so that each time people buy products from me, I put it in a nice bag like this one and I say, thanks for shopping with us. Every day my son is helping me to post these products. So just because I am at home doing nothing to you does not mean I'm not working. So that's all I wanted to say. I was really disappointed and disgusted. Lots of African people, migrants are here helping the NHS, helping the government. They have great positions. They are pushing the health system. They're making sure that people are comfortable. Some are teachers, some are lawyers. Majority of African people are professionals, even Asians. If you walk between 2 meters of every area, you will find that the person who owns the shop is a Pakistani off license. So what are you on about saying that they're waiting for handouts? Even if they have 6 children, they take their children as well, start empowering them at a young age. They start helping them in the shops that they own. They teach them business at a young age. So what are you saying now? Because we can do a survey of how many of these shops are owned by white British, since you've brought the topic. How many own this off license? From there to there is a Pakistani. The other side, you find these different nationalities owning these businesses. Indians, you name it. Indian restaurants, you go and eat Indian food. You go and eat Pakistani restaurant foods where they sell chicken and chips and kebab. Is it owned by a pure white person? This coronavirus has exposed a lot of things. I have seen people discriminating against us Africans, us the minority who live in these places. And therefore, it is my plea that even the MP of whatever town, they should apologize to us migrants and show us a surety that whosoever talks about black people on social media in a derogatory way or just making such type of falsehood statements will be prosecuted. Because it's not fair that we have to live in fear, that most people, all they're doing is sharing on WhatsApp. They can't even say, but I've decided to express myself and to say, this must stop. We are one people. It doesn't matter the color. That is why even my makeup palette, I made sure it was rainbow. There's something about a rainbow. The rainbow has different colors, but it is on one unit. That is why even the NHS are using the rainbow. The rainbow is beautiful. We should also think of how we can help one another and make sure that our lives are beautiful and not condemning anybody. With that, guys, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. It's a girl, lilymutamztv, also known as Gelowapazed. I'm sorry the video had to be long, but I had to express myself to explain everything by building up the story so that you could understand what was going on. We are not here to eat benefits, but we are here to help the economy of Britain become better. Because without migrant workers, the economy would fail. That's just the truth. So be appreciative of every migrant that is here helping. It could be somebody helping your mom in a care home. You don't know tomorrow you will need help in the care home. Who will help you? It's us, the minority, that help. Because we don't care. We do any jobs because we know we came here to work hard. We didn't come here to look at the queen. We didn't come here to look at the sky. We didn't come here to admire the snow. We came here to work hard and to make money in order to support our families back home as well. Worldwide, just Zambians alone, across the world, those in the diaspora send over $2 million, no, $21 million a year to Africa, to Zambia. Now, what about these other countries, Ghana, Nigeria, that are overpopulated? How many dollars do they send? Even Pakistan and the Caribbeans. We don't need to be discriminating against each other. We all are here on this earth to survive. So as to where somebody gets an opportunity, that's where they should be. In Zambia, we have lots of British farmers who were born in Britain because the land here is very expensive. They are living in Zambia, farming in Zambia. Nobody discriminates against them. They are supplying ShopRite, big companies. They are making millions of dollars. They have their own planes. They charter their own planes. This is not a joke. Go to Solwezi, go to a place called Mukushi and see how the white people have settled there from Britain, born in the UK. They've settled there. Nobody has told them they are not entitled to land. They have land. Thousands of hectares of land. I'm talking about 3,000 hectares of land. One person. Do you know how much 1 hectare costs in the UK? It's more than £20,000, 1 hectare of land. But these people are settled in Africa. They own their own runways. Their children go to the most expensive schools in Zambia. They fly them across the world. They fly to wherever they want to go using their own private planes. Nobody has discriminated against them. So before you think Africa is a bush, start by visiting the white people from Britain who live in Africa and check how comfortable they are. Then you should come and insult us and say we are rats. That is all I wanted to say. Educate yourself. When the COVID-19 ends, visit Africa. We don't live in trees. We are comfortable. A lot of people are comfortable. Don't be told lies by the media. What the media has always portrayed, saying we suffer. We do not suffer. I'm telling you, it's our governments that are corrupt. Where they get lots of donations, but they receive the money and put it in their pockets. Otherwise, Africa is not poor. We have natural resources. Do you think the UK would survive without the natural resources from Africa? Of course not. Where does gold come from? Do you have gold mines in this country? No, you don't have. All the gold is coming from Africa. Where is the oil coming from? Do you have even oil here? Oil is coming from other parts of the world. So you must appreciate every person around you and not condemn them in any way. Educate yourself. We don't have a low IQ. We are sharp. That's why we're here. Because we want to collect pounds, which is higher. The top currency in the world is a pound. So we know what we are doing. Don't look at us as if we don't know what we are doing. We know what we're doing. I was supposed to end this video, but this came in my mind and I thought I should educate you. I am not eating benefits. I am here to work hard for my family because I want to live in leisure. I want to live comfortably. Who wants to be waiting for handouts? Do you know how Africans like to drive Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, Jaguar? What kind of money what type of money is the benefit that you can buy someone a Range Rover? Do you know that even a second-hand Range Rover is £40,000? Which benefit go buy a Range Rover? Which one? Which benefit would take me to Dubai for holiday? Which benefit would handouts that you're talking about? Which handout would take my family, me with 4 children, to Dubai? How? Be careful. Don't think people are here desperate, waiting for benefits. It doesn't work like that. Many people work hard. There's loads of shifts in hospitals. I work in care homes, loads. I pick up most of the shifts because if I can do the work and make the money for myself, it makes me happier that I'm working and earning my own money without waiting for somebody to give me a handout because I want to invest my money in my business. At the end of the day, we are all entitled to bring British citizens. So whether black citizen, African, Indian, Pakistani, whatever, the fact remains, it says nationality Indian, but you are a British citizen. British citizen is a uniform term that every person has to have. So there's nothing like black British citizen. It's British citizen. End of. Educate yourselves.
Meanwhile, Philip Austin had said that the facial features of black people absorb the virus larger. Look at this disgusting comment. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, and follow me on all social media platforms. It's simply at lilymutamztv.